Yes. Welcome to this press briefing, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, and those following us now on other social media platforms. Today's press briefing will be addressed by the Inspector General of Police, Gregory Coleman, who will quickly brief us on the impropriety or misconduct of some LMP officers in the execution or discharge of the duties, and of course other updates. On this note, we now turn over to our honorable and principle-minded IG, who will brief us. You are welcome to brief us.
Good afternoon to all. This brief is about an incident that occurred on the 12th of October, and this incident has caused some serious embarrassment to the government and people of Liberia. It involves the issue of police corruption, harassment, abuse of authority, and intimidation of Vietnamese businessmen in Liberia. On Thursday, the incident was at the luxury hotel, Thinkers Village. It happened at around 2100 hours. The investigation is still in its early stages. However, I mean, it's only fair enough that we update the public as to where we are with the investigation. The Liberia National Police is a service for good. This service has got over 5,000 sworn officers, sworn to execute their roles and responsibilities as per the act establishing this organization. Any action outside of it that borders on criminality will never, ever be covered in any way, shape, or form. The action of these officers, of course, was very, very serious embarrassment. I'm not proud to even be standing here to even begin to discuss it. However, we can assure the public that there will be detailed investigation and we'll get to the roots of the matter. At this point, these are the facts that we have on hand until the investigation can advance to other stages. Police officers did go to the hotel, the luxury hotel in Thinkers Village. They made illegal entry. They arrested the businessmen with all probable cause and brought them to the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. The suspect was turned over to a senior supervisor who also abused his authority and intimidated the businessmen, threatened them to take mugshots without any charge. Mugshot is at the end of everything. When you're criminally charged, take your fingerprint, take your picture for the record. You don't do it to people who you've not investigated to establish a crime. This action does not represent the direction of the Liberia National Police, and we're calling it out as it is. We're asking the public to please remain calm as we investigate these officers. To date, the following actions have been taken. By my authority, I have invoked the disciplinary regulation of the Act of 2016, Section 9.4, caption interdiction. 2 officers, Assistant Commissioner of Police Sangbala, LMP Code R2, and Patrolman Augustine Ben of the Criminal Intelligence Division are both being interdicted and turned over to the Professional Standards Division for investigation in accordance with the Police Act. A third officer, Patrolman Sensi Massacre, has been dismissed. His case is a little different because this officer has been suspended since 2018 for theft of property. And the act says you should cease to perform any duties related to your previous work. And he went out impersonating a police officer because he's not at this point in time due to his suspension. And as such, his is very, very clear. That violation is straight for dismissal. He has been turned over to the Crime Services Department to be investigated criminally. The businessmen have claimed that $24,000 was on them when this illegal action of the police officers occurred. They came to Central. They reported $12,200. In the process of the investigation, after the lawyers assigned for it, there's an additional $5,000 that cannot even be accounted for. So, I mean, the criminality is very, very clear here. However, there are set procedures that we have to follow before we can turn the officers over for criminal investigation. I can assure the public that we will keep you updated on the matter. We have been speaking with the lawyers and the businessmen as well, getting their statement. And on behalf of the police, I would just like to apologize because this is not representative of who we are or where we're heading. This country, I mean, there's so many challenges here today that, I mean, you can't even begin to understand how much we're dealing with in this organization. But I can reassure the public that while it is true that I will not control each and every officer individual action, whenever it is brought to light, there will be full accountability and they will answer for whatever wrongdoing. At this point, I would like to stop here. I'll ask the councilor if he has a word to say, and then I can take some questions.
Yeah.
Councilor, you have one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Thank you. Well, we want to just thank the Liberia National Police for at least launching an investigation, so far. We believe that there's no room for this kind of behavior, especially when there are efforts being made by government to lure in investors to the country. And so the action by the Liberia National Police, led by Inspector Coleman, shows that this is a police that is taking a new direction. And we applaud this. We will be working closely with the investigation team. Whenever they need us or need our client, we'll bring them forward, we'll cooperate. And we're just grateful that, we're having a new change in the approach of policing in our country. You wouldn't see these things too often in the past, but now we can see that police officers too can be held accountable. So we're very proud of the police for their actions. Even their own can be investigated. There's no room for cover-up. We're grateful to them.
So, so far, there's zero action of criminality that has been established on the part of the businessmen. Whatever allegation they claim to have had that there was an illegal gold sale in the making, and intent does not constitute a crime. So even if they intended to have bought gold illegally, they did not buy it. As such, the crime did not occur. Once again, we can reassure the public that we will be very vigilant, we will be accountable, and we will take the appropriate actions whenever we as a police body will go. At this point, I would like to open to the floor for any questions or comments. Yes, please.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Aji. My name is Stephen Ramos,
Yeah.
and I work for Joy FM. Mr. Aji, I'm a bit concerned about the consistent, investigation of police officers and subsequently leading to their dismissal. Do you really think this could be the appropriate, steps taken, especially when looking at the limited manpower you have had over the time you may have in the police force to cover the entire country, and maybe they might have done wrong, go against the law? Are there not other penalties in order to ensure that maybe their capacity are well built in making sure that these mistakes are not occurring?
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. And there is zero room for any form of misconduct. We are law enforcers, and as such, we should be representative of that role that government has given unto us. I believe in quality over quantity. As much as the police need up to 12,000 officers, we're only 5,000. If you misbehave or you carry on an inappropriate act, you will be dismissed in accordance with the police duty manual. So there is a need for additional officers yet, yes, but that doesn't excuse them from being abusive to the citizens that they serve. The call is there. There's a need for additional training. I agree with you 100%. We've made the appropriate representation to government for more in-service training. So that is in the making, and I hope it will get approved so that these officers can be refreshed. Notwithstanding, if you step outside of the law, you will be dealt with. If you're there arresting other people who violate the law, I mean, what more high ground do you have if you're stepping outside of the law, violating it, and going there to arrest other people? It defeats the entire purpose. So I'll go for a quality force over just considering quantity and giving pardons.
I am Lincoln Peters, and I write for the New Dawn newspaper.
Thank you.
I want to firstly appreciate you for the step taken thus far in weeding out the bad apples from among the victims. This action serves as a deterrent to other who may have intent of doing such. But now into my issues, I'm basically concerned about the businessmen who are allegedly robbed criminally by some of bad apples from the
State security.
National Security Force. I want to know what have been the business history of this person in question, and what has he been engaged with?
Well, I hope I do not know the victims like that. Like I said, the investigation is ongoing. This is as much as we know. This is as much as we know. When we do have additional information, we will inform you. But for now, we haven't established, all of the dealings in Liberia. It's my understanding that these people are new investors here in Liberia. They are not just here on their own. They are connected to the Vietnamese government. So these are people who come with some legitimacy that we are not questioning at this point in time. One thing I can clearly state here, there was absolutely no criminality on their part. The officers did not have a probable cause to make any arrest of those businessmen. So if we do find out anything else about their dealings and stuff, we will let the public know. But for now, that's as much as we have.
Can I do a follow-up?
Sure.
The Liberian National Police and other security forces operates on tips where people give information.
Yes.
I believe that somehow, based upon your explanation, they receive tips about illegal purchase of a dime or a quote-unquote dime. And then now action allegedly taken against them, but you are now coming to the public to inform the public of what's happening. Don't you think it is so early to come to the public?
Well, I don't think so. Like you say, we do receive tip, and according to the officer's statement, yes, they did get a tip off, and that was how they got this location. Notwithstanding, when you do have tip off and you go to carry out an operation, you have your guiding principles. They had no legal instrument to have entered that particular hotel. Absolutely no legal instrument. This was not a case of hot pursuit. So, I mean, yes, they did get tip off. They went on, even though they did not even inform, I mean, they did not go through the chain as they should have. You, the officer who going to arrest you, don't you think it's okay for you to get one of your active partners before another officer who's been suspended for theft of property since 2018? What establish the connection in between that? You help me here to establish it. I mean, the investigation will prove, will definitely give us the details, but I think I've been around here to know that when it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it is a duck.
Okay.
So thank you. My name is Makia and I report for Sky FM. I did listen to you talking about the procedure that the police officers carried out in terms of effectuating the arrest. Can we simply say the lack of the proper steps? Can we simply say the police are not trained to the letter to carry on their duties, or based on the case, can we say it was premeditated by those officers?
Well, I will, these are not officers who just popped up. These are officers who were trained by the United Nations, the entire world, training people. The entire world. So every good police doctrine from all over the world was given to them. It was given to them. Yes, every time the officer needs to be refreshed from time to time. Notwithstanding, you will not use your skills to become unethical. You can make some mistakes on the job and stuff like that, but the ethics, those are not things that you just easily lose. So this particular case, I mean, there's absolutely no excuse. Yes, we do need training, 100%. We need in-service training. Officers must be refreshed all of the time. Whenever there's an opportunity, I take it. Sometimes I go online and take courses as well. When trainings are open, I'm on level, I attend it. And we make opportunities for each and every one in different ways, at different point in time. So yes, the training is one part, but I mean, the individuals, they are just people who have not got a foundation upon which law enforcement can be built. And I mean, if it reaches the point where we find you up, definitely you gotta go. Look, this thing, maybe I don't know if you all see it like how I'm looking at it. I'm seriously embarrassed standing up here because the action of my officers have caused a serious embarrassment on this country, internationally. And I cannot take, it's not one of the things that you want to sit around and take lightly. You have to take an immediate action. And if we wanted to just be hasty about it, we'll take one decision, but there are guiding principles here. I cannot violate it in order to just satisfy the public. So the most I can do at this point in time is to have them interdicted. And I mean, I will give you all the interdiction clause so that you can read it. It's section 9.4 of our disciplinary regulation. So it can clearly state to you what it covers. But as soon as criminality is established, they move from being interdicted and turn straight over to the Crime Services Department for Criminal Investigation.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
IG Inspector. Well, my name is Sampat Bakima, representing Crown FM. We received a report earlier this afternoon about an officer identified as success now. He said one of your officers arrested him for voicing out about the salary, he complained about salary aspect, that they are not being paid for 10 months. And he alleged that you instructed the officer at red light to beat him and put him in prison. So how true is that?
Does that even sound like something that I would even get involved with? No. For an answer, no. I have absolutely no clue. And even if an officer voices a salary issue, I am voicing it out every day. One desk class 46 that we have not been able to get fully activated on the payroll. We just had an allotment to begin to pay them. I've been going after it for months and months. Finally, they could have an allotment to begin paying them. So I've been making a call, I've been calling for it. So if he asked his boys to help me, why should I arrest him and beat him? It doesn't even make sense. So no, I don't even know his name. I don't know where he's a son. But please, maybe it did happen. I'm not dismissing it. I mean, if you can have police officers going to break into the Businessmen hotel and steal from them, definitely there are other things that are possible. So please tell him if there's a professional standard division, he should please file his complaint and it will be investigated as well. Okay?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, on that note, we call this press conference to an end, and we thank you for coming.